let's talk about how to draw hair. So you should know already how to at least draw this head. If not, go click right here, and then it'll pop up and it'll show you exactly how to draw a head. The most important thing to do, which is right and not incorrect, is how you shape the hair. So let's give you an example of something that's wrong, okay? So this is going to be wrong. So we're going to put a big X over this because this is the wrong way. This guy is wrong. So a lot of times people will just do this with hair. You see that? They'll just draw the individual strands and try to have hair like this, okay? And they do this. And you see the reason why this is wrong is it doesn't really look like anything. It doesn't really look like hair. It kind of does, but it looks like, you know, a bunch of strands and it's crazy. That's not what you want to do. The first thing you want to do is you want to make a shape, okay? So this guy or this girl, whoever you want to be, is the correct method. So this is correct. So what you want to do is you want to shape the hair in a certain way. So how you do that is, for example, let's draw somebody who has, let's just say they have very long hair. So I'm going to start at the top here. There's usually bangs. So somebody might have bangs here. You see like their bangs right here. Okay, I'm going to draw some bangs out right here. And let's say that they just have their bangs, okay? And I'm going to just outline the bangs, and that's really all they have. Their hairstyle is just some bangs, okay? And I'm going to draw a little thing in the middle just for a part, okay? Very simple hairstyle, that's it. Now, you see I built a shape here, whereas here I just drew some randomness. Here I have a shape. Now we have to see how the hair would fall here. So this would be the top of your head, okay? So this picture here is from a top view. So from a top view, if I was a bird and I was looking down directly at you, I'd see your hair kind of comes down like this. You see, like it comes down kind of like this. It all meets at the center point, at some center point, and it comes down kind of like this. And the reason, you see, I'm making these strokes that I said not to do here. You see, when you have a shape, you can actually make these lines. So now, why am I jumping to making these lines and how your hair falls? Well, now, if you know that your hair falls down like that from a top view, you can kind of figure out what's going to happen with your hair when it's pulled back like this. You see, when you have hair that's kind of tucked behind your ears, it's going to kind of fall like something like this, you see? Gonna fall like this, and your hair is just gonna kind of meet in the middle, but it's still gonna fall a little bit like that. And you can just keep making these strokes and these lines if you want, and it'll start. You can make a few lines a little bit more defined, a few lines a little bit less defined, you know, if you want. But it really comes down to how the style is. You know, some people like this, some people don't like to do hair like this. But for the most part, this is just so you know exactly how to draw hair. So now you see this looks a lot better than this, for example, because there's shape to the hair. Here, there's no shape. There's nothing. So this is correct. This is incorrect. Now let's take something a little bit more complicated. So this is a side view here, okay? So this is a correct one, and this is a side view. You can see by the ears. Let me know if you want a tutorial on how to turn heads. I showed you how to draw a head from forward, like looking direct on, but I never showed you how to draw a face turning different ways. So if we were talking about somebody who has a little bit more of a complicated hairstyle, let's just say they have bangs. You know, I usually think of the hairstyle in like 5 parts. The first part is the bangs, okay? Let's just say somebody has bangs. I'm going to draw their bangs out, okay? They have some bangs here, okay? Then the second part I think about is that they have, usually their sideburns have a little bit of hair coming from the side as well. So let's just say this person, whoever it is, has like some hair coming here, okay? Okay, something like that. Okay, I should honestly not make that like that. Hair at the end should maybe kind of come down like this. You know, sometimes it's kind of pointed. It depends on your style. Next, I think about the hair in like the back of the head, you know, like the hair at the top of the head, and then any hair that's flowing downwards like this. So I would draw something like this. So now I have the bangs, I have the side hair, and I have the bangs, I have the top of the head, and then I have the back, and then I have the side. I guess 4 parts. And then I would do the same thing here. You know, the bangs fall this way, so I'm gonna just do this. Okay, and then the hair is kind of going back. This hair is kind of coming down here, so I'm gonna make that apparent. And then the rest of the hair is kind of like going back here. And you can do that. You can make these individual strands here. And you see very quickly that once you learn where each one goes, here, this is the ear right here, it makes it a lot easier and looks a lot better. Now, there's different types of hair, and obviously there's wavy hair, curly hair, and whatnot. So there's different types, and there's anime hair, you know? So maybe let's start discussing those a little bit. So let's start with somebody who has more of an anime hairstyle, like an anime male hairstyle. Now, usually what happens here is usually these are more spiked here. So same thing, you have like a sideburn and you have bangs, but usually their bangs are a little bit more like spiky, you know? So you see spiky bangs here. And then at the top of their head, they usually have like spikes coming out, you know, because it's like, imagine there's gel on the top of the head. So usually here's some gel on the top of the hair, and then it's coming down like this, something like that. And then of course you'd erase this top guideline that you had for the head, and then you'd have something like this. You'd have a hairstyle, something like this. Now, it's kind of hard to like do it like this because it's a different style. Usually what they do is, if they want to, they make each strand kind of going towards the middle like this. And that, if you want to get really detailed, is kind of a way to make hair appear a little bit more defined, where it's just kind of meeting in the middle. That's what they usually do for anime. Now, if we're talking about hair, if we're talking about, for example, like a braid, let's just say somebody has like a braid. So we're gonna have this person have a braid, and we're gonna talk about different hairstyles. So again, let's just make let me just do the ears, make this hairstyle very simple, kind of like this. So same thing like this, where there's just a part, but this person has a braid. Now the way you do braids is you actually do like if you think about a chain, it's kind of like that. Sorry, let me redo that for you. Kind of like a chain, where it's like, it's loop over, loop under, loop over, loop under. Now that looks weird, but let me show you. So first you want to loop over like this, okay? Then you want to loop under like this. Then alternate, loop over, loop under, loop over, loop under. You see that? So now you kind of have a hairstyle that's a little bit braided. You get that texture there, you know, like a ponytail or braided, or however you want to call it. And of course, if you have different hairstyles, like if somebody has like a ponytail or is pulling hair in a certain direction, you're going to see that. You know, if somebody, for example, has hair that's being pulled up like in a ponytail here, like let's just give this guy like a regular hairline. This is just a regular hairline. Hairline just comes straight here and then has a little area down. If you give yourself a buzz cut, or you imagine somebody who gave themselves a buzz cut, that's exactly where their hairline would fall. But let's imagine this person, this man or woman, has hair coming back here, and then they have like a bun shaped up here. So obviously the hair, there's like a hair tie right here. You see there's like a hair tie. So it's going to be pulling all the hair, you know, the hair from the back, the hair from the side, the hair from the front, all the way up here. And then this area would be kind of balled up. So you kind of like draw a little, like, you know, kind of like ball shape. So you just follow the curves of the ball to make it more 3D. So there you have like a ball shape. We're going to draw like curly hair, for example. Curly hair is a little bit tougher, but it's not it's nothing crazy. Let's give this person curly hair. So instead of having lines like this, you're going to have more lines more like this. So let's just say this person has like curly hair here, some curly hair here, and then instead of I would do the same outline method. So let's outline this person's hair. Just erase the top, erase this little guideline here. So I would just have a little, I would still give them the same hair texture, but I would just make it a little bit wavier. You see, so when you add waves, same thing. You can add waves here, and then add waves like in here as well. So you're kind of giving a curly hairstyle. And it's tough because sometimes the hairstyle comes out, or it's whatever. And I have heard that curly hair is notoriously difficult to manage. So it's kind of a little bit free-flowing, but it's still wonderful. It's great hair. It's amazing hair to look at. So you have like this curly hair, you see, so it's more of the curls that you get. It's still coming down, but it's more curly than you would normally see. Alternatively, if you want, you could just draw it like you could just draw the outline a little bit curly, not a lot. I guess this is a little bit more wavy hair. And then just draw the outline how you want the hair. You know, you have to remember the bangs. The bangs are coming down here, maybe the bangs are coming down here, and then it's going to obviously cover a lot of this area. Sometimes you won't even see the ears. Sometimes this area will be covered, you know, and then you might see like hair. You can draw just a little bit like this, and a little like that, you know, depending on the type of curliness you want. Or honestly, you can just leave it like that, you know, whatever looks good. You have to experiment with it and see what you like, you know. Sometimes just like some C's work in there. You know, you have to experiment because, you know, I don't like that right now. So obviously I changed that. So something like that. It depends on the character you're drawing, what they're doing, who they are, you know. And if you know that, then you have a great idea of what they're doing. I think that wraps up hair right now. So if there's any other questions, let me know.